Do you want to understand how the hackers uses their Linux machine to pentest their real-time task? Maybe some network or some systems are there in your network, maybe a router, maybe a printer, and you wanted to test that particular router, printer, or switches. It can be anything from your virtual machine. So now it is very difficult to test your network devices by using a virtual machine. So today we are going to talk about those configuration that is done by the hackers to identify, to connect with your within your local network, or maybe if you wanted to run your malware in your system and you wanted to isolate your operating system. So in that situation, what configuration, what right configuration you needed in your system, in your virtual box. So without wasting time, let's get started. This side Tapan Kumar Jha in Hacker Vlog English. So first of all, in the last video we have already discussed about how you can install your Kali Linux in your virtual box. Okay, now after installation, you can see once you stop the virtual machine, then after that you will have multiple options on the home screen. So the first option that you will see is a general, okay, where you can define the name, where your Kali Linux name is there, and the below you will see the operating system type, and after that you have the system. Now in system, the first thing that is very much important in your virtual box, that is your RAM. If the RAM distribution is not done properly by your system in your virtual machine, in that situation your system will get lagged, it will hang multiple times, you will not be able to do any of a task. So just click on this particular RAM. Here you will see by default you will be getting 2 GB RAM. Okay, now I have just increased my RAM to 4 GB. If you wanted to increase your RAM to 8 GB, yes, you can do it. Just adjust this part and then click on OK. Automatically it will change the RAM. In this way you can change, and you can increase the RAM and you can decrease the RAM. Other than this, we have other options like in the below, when you go down here you can see some adapters options are there. Here you can see network adapter. This is one of the most important thing that we need to understand. Let's suppose if you wanted to run a malware, now in your virtual box you have installed more than one operating system. Maybe right now I'm using a Kali Linux, maybe I will install a Windows operating system, and in Windows I wanted to run a malware which I think that it's a malware, maybe it is not. Okay, so I do not want to take risk on my personal machine. So what I will do, I will just copy that particular file in my main machine. Okay, so once again, yeah, I will copy that file in my virtual machine, and in the virtual machine when I click on it, I don't want that particular file will spread the malware in my base machine or another virtual machine get affected with it. So in that situation we have different type of adapters, so that we need to understand so that we can do the testing properly. Now let me open this. Now here you can see, let me draw the diagram again so that at least you will understand it properly. Now let's suppose this is your base machine. Okay, base machine is right now is Windows. Okay, now you will install one virtual box. This is my virtual box software. In that software I've installed two operating system. One is Kali Linux and another one is Windows. Okay, I will just write down the name, virtual box. Okay, in virtual box one is Kali Linux, another one is a Windows. Got it. Now what we need to do, now we have two operating system, one is a Kali Linux, another one is Windows. Now we are talking about the network adapter, adapter. Okay, so the first thing that we have, host only mode. Another one we have NAT mode. I will explain each and every mode properly. Third one we have bridge mode. Okay, so initially first of all we will go through with the host only mode. Now host only mode will allow you to isolate your machine. Let's suppose I wanted to run a malware in a Windows and I don't want that this malware will infect Kali Linux. So what I will do, I will put this adapter into a host only mode. When you put this adapter into the host only mode, in that situation your Windows machine will get a separate range. Okay, separate range of an IP address which is different from the Kali Linux. Okay, so in that situation if you are running any malicious file into the Windows, it will not affect your Kali Linux and it will not also infect your base machine. That's why we have created a host only mode, so that you can isolate your work from other virtual machine if it is gonna infect your system. So if you put the host only mode, as an adapter, it will isolate your machine from other machines. Okay, now we have another, that is a NAT mode. So NAT mode is basically a mode which helps you to communicate with other virtual machine. So let's suppose right now your machine is in the NAT mode. Now these two machines will be in the same range, 192.168.220.100. Okay, the other machine will also get the same range of an IP address, 192.168.220.101. Now assume your base machine IP address could be 192.168.1.0.100. Okay, so now here you can see, now the IP address of my base machine is different than the IP address of a virtual machine. So in NAT mode, these two machines can communicate with each other, like Kali Linux can communicate with Windows machine. This is the best advantage of this NAT mode. Understood? So now these two machines can communicate. Now let's suppose there is a scenario, you wanted to test a device which is present within your network. It can be the router, it can be the switch, it can be the printer, it can be any machine, or it can be a server. Now what you will do, which adapter you need to select? Now we have another mode, that is a bridge mode. Let's suppose, let me create some machines over here. Yes, 1 2 3, perfect. Now let me give them my IP address, 192.168. Although they all are in my main network, so having the same range as my system is having. This one, perfect. 102, 103, perfect. So these three are the IP addresses which are connected in my same network. Now when you put a bridge mode, that is an important mode, bridge mode. In that situation, what it will do, it will change the IP range. It will remove this, 1 second, yeah, it will remove this and give the IP address of the same range, 192.168.0.104. So now in this way, your Kali Linux now able to communicate with your local network machine. So these are the important adapters that you need to have, and as per your need and requirement, you can select the adapter. Now how to select these adapters, that is an important task. Now you have to go here and there is an option NAT mode. Under the network you will see NAT mode. Click on it, and from here you can change the adapter as per your need and requirement. Now first of all, let me turn on this machine and with the NAT mode, so that I will just show you how to change the adapter, and then how it will change the IP address also. Now wait a second, let me first start the machine. Now before that, let first check my system IP address. So right now I will just do IP config in my Windows machine. Perfect. Now go back and check. Now here you can see my IP address, current IP address is 192.168.0.105. This is my IP address. Now let me log in into the Kali Linux and let me check what is my IP address. Okay, it should not have the same range of my IP address, just because right now it is connected in a NAT mode. So now click on terminal. Okay, if config, yes. Now here you can see inet address, it's 10.0.2.50. so it is in a NAT mode. So maybe other system in my VirtualBox, they will have the same range of an IP address right now I'm having in my Kali Linux. Now let's suppose if we change the adapter over here from NAT to bridge mode, let me check if I'm able to get the IP address or not. So here you can see right now I'm using Wi-Fi 6 AX200. This is my adapter. Okay, now remove this. Now let me check. Yes, here you can see it got disconnected because I have changed the adapter. Now if it get disconnected again, it will get connected, and let me check if I'm able to get the IP address or not. Yes, I'm able to get. Now here you can see the IP address 192.168.0.105, and here we are getting 192.168.0.110. so I'm able to communicate with my base machine. If I will ping my device 192.168.0.105, as right now I'm using a Windows and my firewall is also on, so it will not allow this machine to communicate, but although I'm able to communicate. Okay, so this is how actually it works. Yeah, here you can see I'm able to ping my router. Understood? So this is how the adapters are really very much important. So these three adapters are very important. The first adapter, when we see, wait a second, yeah, the first adapter, we have the host only mode, which is basically used when you wanted to isolate any device, any machine from other machines. Another one, NAT mode, when you wanted to communicate within the virtual box. Every machine can communicate within the virtual box if all are in the NAT mode. If your system is in a bridge mode, your that virtual box is in a bridge mode. Now this mode is specific to that one machine only, not for the entire virtual box. Okay, and maybe your Kali Linux can have a NAT mode and your Windows can have a bridge mode as well. Okay, and when you set your adapter as a bridge mode, then your machines can communicate within your local network machine. This is how actually it works, and it is an important configuration of this virtual box. I hope this video is clear to you. If you have any questions, feel free to write it down in the comment box. I will definitely answer all those questions. And if you have any if you wanted to do any courses, you can just fill this form which is present in the below in the comment section. You can just fill out that form, and we will contact with you regarding the courses. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Good night. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.